everybody, welcome to Crafty Cottage Stitches. I'm Heather. It's just gonna be me today. My mom's watching my daughter in the background, but I'm here gonna do a tutorial for you on the ribbon pull, the ribbon zipper pull that I have on my pumpkin applique project bag. Had several people request that I do a tutorial, so that's what we're gonna do today. And I don't think I'm gonna do like a live tutorial where I'm actually sewing it and showing you how I sew it, because it's pretty basic stuff, but I have some steps already kind of done for you guys so you can see how it's done.
One more.
So we'll go over what you're gonna need. You're gonna need pliers. These are really old and crusty, so don't judge me. Just some scissors. I have my sewing scissors. I'm gonna use my little roller to iron out some fabric, or you could use your iron. And then as far as the little bindings go, these things are found in the bead section at Michael's or at Hobby Lobby. These are called silver plated ribbon pinch clasp. And these ones came in a variety of sizes. I believe we decided these are called head pins. You can kind of see them here. They kind of look like a nail. They've got like a nail head on them. And then they just taper off. They're not pointy like a sewing pin, but you'll see what I use those for in a little bit here.
Oh, hush.
And then jump rings. These come in silver and in gold, and I have both, but I'm just gonna use the silver today because my gold is put away. And then I also decided I'm gonna add some of these beads to mine today, and charms. And these were the ones that I ordered from the trim buyer on Etsy. And then I have just various ribbons selected, Halloween ribbons, because I'm making another one of my pumpkin project bags for a friend, and I wanted to do a zipper pull for her. And then I also have scraps of fabric, because I like to take some of the fabric that I use in my bag, I'll show you here, and make some ribbons to go on here out of that fabric, and it kind of ties it all together. And then I just add that in with various ribbons. So the first step that I like to do is just take the scrap fabric that I have, cut it in a strip, obviously, about double the size that you're gonna want to have as your ribbon, because we're gonna fold this in half. So fold it in half. Typically I'll iron this because I have my iron set up, because I'm also like sewing bags and stuff. But for this, I'm just gonna use my little roller to get this nice and flat. See, it's now folded in half. And what I would typically do is put this under my sewing machine, and then I would either run just a regular straight stitch on that. I like to actually do zigzag stitches on it because it just adds something to it. And you're gonna end up with little pieces like this. This is what the straight stitch looks like. I've got a big zigzag on that one, small zigzag on this one. And I did up several of these just to have them ready so you didn't have to watch me sew those. That one to the side. So for this ribbon pull, I didn't actually measure it, but I'll measure for you guys. My longest strips on here were about 4 1/4 inches. I don't normally measure it, but if you're wanting to get the same kind of look, then cut them about 4 1/2 inches. I just do random sizes. And then I like to just dovetail them, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Cut them different ways, so they're just kind of funky and fun. So I just fold it in half. Like that. And my scissors. Take that. Cut from center out to the corner. And then you're gonna have your equal, even dovetail. And I'll do that on a couple, and then some of them I just like to have at a slant and not necessarily at a dovetail, just to mix it up a little bit. Take that. And then you want to just clean these up a little bit, cut off any extra threads. They'll get kind of frayed and funky, but they're fun that way, I think. Then I just take the ones that are sewn and decide how I want them kind of laid out. So I'm going to start with those 3 little fabric scraps, and then I'm going to take some pieces of ribbon and cut some lengths to go in there, see what looks good. Like that one. And just do different lengths.
Is that your favorite one? Mine too. Is there more and more? No, after dinner. Mom said she can have another one after dinner. Is there more? I don't know. But we had 2. Right?
Want another one of these in here.
I want to do the pink one. I want the pink one. The pink one? Oh, when the dog gets the paint all over? Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of orange heavy, so I'm going to add some black ribbon in here too, I think.
That's a new one. This is a new one? Okay, you tell me which one. Mama, put that one down. Then. Oh, is it? Or do you want to watch the Christmas one? Which one? Pink. Okay, which one? It's on the bottom one.
And just kind of do what you think looks cute. I just eyeball it.
Arts and crafty.
And kind of line it up how you want it.
Is this the one?
I don't have a ton on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is only like 5 little ribbons. And if you don't want to use scrap fabric, or you don't have scrap fabric, oh, this one got really ratty. Just use ribbons. Get different ribbons. Or if you don't like the frayed look that it turns into, because I just keep cleaning this up a little bit. Use ribbons. So I think I like that. I'll show you guys here. Don't mind my ratty project board. So now that I have those picked out, I'm gonna get one of my ribbon clasps and pick one big enough to clamp onto the top of this. I think that's the biggest they are. I've decided the biggest ones in here, those are the ones that I typically use, I've used so far anyways, are 3/4 of an inch. So if you're looking and you just find them in one size and not the multi-pack, get the 3/4 of an inch, or bigger if you want a bigger pull. So I'm gonna arrange these in a way that I know they're gonna fit in this ribbon clasp. You don't want the tops where you're gonna clamp it on there to be any wider than that 3/4 of an inch, because you're gonna clamp this down on these ribbons. Let's see if you can see that there. Let's maneuver this a little bit for you guys. See what I'm saying? Okay. And what I like to do, so I'm not having to worry about this coming loose, if I like it a specific way, sorry about that. It's nice to just run a quick stitch over these ribbons. I just do a quick stitch back and forth so they're intact, so they're not moving around when you clamp that on. You don't have to do that. I do that with my sewing machine. You can probably just do that with a needle and thread if you want to. And you probably could do it with fabric glue. Just so if you're using it to actually pull your zipper and stuff, it's probably better to have that extra step to keep it kind of strong in there.
Here's your sparkling water. You gotta be thirsty. Is that good?
Okay, so I'm just gonna do that real quick.
I think it's strawberry. Sparkling water?
That fits.
That makes it fun.
See, so now that's all in place. I'm gonna clip that, all that excess off the top. And it ended up being a little bit too wide at the top, so I'm just gonna trim off some off so it's not sticking out of the edges of that ribbon clasp. Just make sure you're not trimming off so much that you're losing some of these ribbons in that stitch. And I even did a zigzag stitch on that just to keep it really secure.
I like being in this one box.
Probably should have done a smaller zigzag so none of that was showing from underneath the ribbon clasp, but I can trim that off. So now you see that that's going to be able to fit right under there. So I'm going to stick all of that in there, in between the two sides. Take my pliers and pinch this on the top really good and secure. And this has those like alligator teeth, so it should grip on to the ribbon.
If the water gains here, if the water gains to this water, it will come out, and That's how it's
See,
going in
this or
You
that.
have to pull it in there, and you put in, and then it comes in there.
And then,
What are you doing?
now that I have that,
What are you doing that?
me, I'm doing a tutorial
Like what tutorial?
for my ribbon pulls
Like what ribbon pull?
that go on the project bags. All right, now that I have that, I'm gonna get ready to do the little bead part for you guys. So I need to go grab a few things and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I'm gonna show you how to do just this little dangle part. These are the wood beads that I had dyed. Oops, oh my goodness, they just went on the floor. I had dyed a few weeks ago. Can you pick that orange bead up for me maybe? Actually, you can play with that if you want. Using the Rit dye, and the white was just spray painted. I just put them up on a wire on my clothesline, spray painted the white, and then I did a spray poly acrylic finish on them. And these ones I just did Rit dye recipes from the Rit dye. I think it's called Color Studio. I just Google Rit dye recipes and it takes you to their page and you can find any color that you can think of. They have different recipes to dye stuff, and so I found a good orange. I think it was called Candy Corns and Pumpkins. And then the black, I just did black Rit dye. Toss them in to the dye. They float, which is kind of nice. I stir them with a dowel and just keep an eye on the color, and then I pull them out, rinse them real quick, and then just let them dry in the sun. And they turned out really awesome. And then I also did a polyacrylic over them just to kind of seal them, and it gave them a nice sheen too. But anyways, to make that little dangle, I just use one of these head pins, and you can kind of see there that it, you know, has like the nail end there. I have just various beads from beading. I thought it would be pretty to have just a little sparkle on there, so I picked out a couple just plain kind of crusty vintage silver beads. Did one on the end. Did an orange bead on there.
I'm gonna make a little path right here too.
Another silver bead. White. Another silver bead. And then black on top is how I did the other one. But you could do, I mean, any color combination. You could just do plain beads. You probably don't even need these head pins. They're just kind of nice to work with. You could probably use wire, string, twine. Just depending on how strong you need it. I actually use these, like I actually pull on them to unzip my bag, and I yanked it off, but I think I figured out what I was doing wrong. My mom actually told me I used the jump rings wrong, so we're gonna fix that today too. And then the cool thing about this is now it's just straight on the top. Now you just take your pliers and you're gonna bend that and make a loop so you can hook that onto the top of the ribbon clasp to connect it, because it has that in there. You could hook it directly on there. I think I'm actually gonna add a jump ring to make it just a little bit danglier.
I had to.
Do you wanna say hi real quick?
Hi.
Okay, and with a jump ring, there is a split in the middle of that circle. You can't really see it, but... And my mom told me you don't pull it apart from each other like that because you're gonna weaken it and it's gonna just never gonna be able to go back the same way. And it'll split eventually too, especially if you're really pulling on it. So instead you wanna just kind of twist it like that to open it. And because I'm gonna hook this to a jump ring, I'm actually gonna close up this top here. And you can get, what did we say they were called? They're called cinch beads, Mom? Clamp beads?
Crimp?
Crimp beads. I thought would be kind of nice to have on the top of this to just crimp it on. So I'm just gonna kind of twist it on there to secure it. Now you have a nice closed little hook on there. Take my open jump ring that I have here, connect that. See, it'll be nice and dangly that way. Let's see how I want it on here. I like that side better, I think.
Abby, are you okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
What is she doing?
We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I have this on here, hooked on there as a dangly, and I'm just gonna close that jump ring back together the way it was before. And now it should be pretty secure on there. Like I said, I have had some issues with these jump rings. I don't know if they're just thin. If you're using this to actually pull open the bag, which I do, I'm not like super gentle with my stuff. I use it. And I've had it come off, but I'm gonna try a few things. I might double up on the jump rings, or I might tie it with some twine. You can try different things. They also have, I'm gonna show you this. You can get things like this just in the bead section that have the hooks on them, like the clamps that you have like on the end of a necklace. You could get those too, and that might be more secure, but just play around with it and be careful until you figure it out. So there's that. And like I said, I've been securing that to my bag just with another jump ring. We are not going to get into that right now, okay?
Why?
Because that's Mama's sewing stuff. Go over with Grandma, or don't play in that, please. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. I just had to clean up a sewing mess that she dumped out. Okay. I think this is the one I was working on, isn't it? Nope. So I am going to add this to my bag to show you guys. See, on here I have this jump ring that it came off of. Because I opened it apart from each other instead of pulling them this way from each other, it's just weakened it. And so when I pull on it, they just open, it opens right up, and the clasps come off, and the ribbon, the zipper pull comes off too. So I'm gonna try something different here. I'm going to attach it with 2 jump rings and do it the right way too. So take this and go that way with it.
The dog?
Take another one, go that way with it. Take it and hook it into your zipper. Just kind of have to work with it to get that dangly charm out of the way. And then clamp these back together with your pliers. Ooh. And just make sure they're closed all the way. And there we go. I actually wanted to add, I think it would be cute to do these and spell out the word boo on one of those head pins. I wanted to call it a pin head, but that's not right. So let me see.
We don't even know if it's head pins. So
no, we don't even know if it's head pins, but it sounds right. So I'm gonna pick out BOO out of here, see what that looks like. Might look silly, but I think it'll be fun. There's an O. I think I'll do silver beads on these too, just to make it a little bit sparkly.
You are new, a wee baby. You a chemist down and a chemist.
That's pretty cute. Oh, definitely. I'm definitely gonna add that on there. Super cute. And it's nice to leave a lot of space on this.
she's fine.
So you can loop this down and then also just take the end of it and loop it around the pin itself to secure it.
Come watch Christmas.
If you're good enough. I don't know if I can manage that. We'll see.
Grab elbow.
Mm-hmm. It's getting to be the end of the day where she gets a little sketchy.
A little crazy. Well, don't put your hand on there, dude. It's hot. See, put your hand right here. You can feel the heat coming up here. Feel the heat? Yeah, you don't want to touch that. I'll burn you.
I
See?
think I'm just going to attach that to the same jump ring that I
Nope,
have the little dangly on.
What are you trying to get?
Those tomatoes. Those all the tomatoes.
You can have one. It's right here. Okay, come on. Oh, you wanna? Here, you can sit the pin on here.
Man, that's so cute.
Take it in here and set it on there. I see that for a minute?
What?
Can I see it for just a second? Can I see it? Okay, it's fine.
Why?
I needed to check something
What?
to make sure it was safe.
Why?
This would be a good candidate for one of those crimp beads.
Nope, Mom said no on those, remember? Mom said no on those.
Look how cute.
Those are hers. You have yours on there.
So I think that's done.
Very cute.
Can it handle that?
I think a charm.
What's in
It's
there?
Mom's
No,
friend.
maybe I'll add a charm. That might just be too much. I like it as is. But you would just add a charm the same way.
I like the boo. That's cute.
I like it a lot. I need to play around with just kind of cleaning up the jump rings a little bit and clamping them up there, but you get the gist.
Be cute. Spell out your name or
Yeah, or sew, or you know, whatever theme that you have going on in the project bag that you're using would be fun to make. If you want to go crazy, you could
yeah, put the name
put
of the project.
Santa or the project that you're working on or whatever. But you get the gist. If you wanted to add some charms, which I have done, you would just do the same thing, the way that you add the dangly beads on there. You're just gonna connect that with the jump ring. You could connect it with multiple jump rings
Yeah, we
to make
don't
it
wanna-
more
We don't
dangly.
want to do that. That's Mom's interfacing.
Why?
That's for
Oh, yeah.
the Lori Holt quilt.
There's my tutorial. Sorry it
That's for
took
her
so
quilt
long, but
she's making.
you gonna get the idea
It's
now.
called interfacing.
In there.
Interfacing.
Play around with it. I want to play
That's
around
how
with
you
it and
make the
do
tomatoes like these.
different themed ones. I have one for my strawberry bag. I just didn't bring it
It's this.
over here right now. But we're gonna get going because it's getting a little bit crazy over here, as you can see. So let me know below if you have any questions. You can leave it in the comments below. You can email us at the email address that I'm gonna put below. And you can also DM me on Instagram at White House Stitchery. And yeah, I think that's it. So have fun with it. You can really
Send pictures of
do anything with them if you wanted to. Yeah, and send us pictures if you do make some. And like I said, you don't have to use fabric. You don't have to use your sewing machine. You could just use a needle and thread. You don't even have to sew it if you don't want to. You could use a little bit of glue. And then really all you would need is a variety of ribbons and the ribbon clasps and some jump rings if you want to keep it basic, and some pliers. And then you can just add beads and little dangly things as you want and as you think of it. I'm excited to make some for Christmas time. And I think I'm gonna play around with a couple of different Halloween ones too and add the different charms that we showed on our floss tube the other day to those, and I'll post pictures of them for you guys. So let me know what you think. Sorry about the poor lighting. My sewing machine's in front of a window and it's a dark, gloomy day. Sorry about the kid. Not really.
She's the best color.
And I'm gonna post a video of her at the end saying hello earlier. And yeah, that's that. We'll be back in a few weeks on October 10th, Sunday. And it will be our 1-year anniversary for Floss Tube.
Exactly.
So, exactly, 1-year anniversary for Floss Tube. So be sure you come back and join us. And until then, I will be on my trip to Arizona. And I'll be posting on Instagram and stuff. So thanks for your interest in this tutorial. Follow me at White House Stitchery on Instagram. Sorry, my daughter has her high heels on. And then also Carly Court Cottage is my mom on Instagram. So see you later. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Do you have your back charm to show them?
Yeah.
Where?
What's in my bag?
There you go. Show the camera. Right over here. What is it?
It's a bath time. It's the time. Bath.
And show off your Halloween shirt. Say happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And say see you next time.
See you next time.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
And wait, go kisses.